Thanks to the support as a channel member, Austin Hartman. Well, still no administration, still rumblings of a potential board takeover. All I can do as the handsome first team manager is just keep winning football matches, hope that I don't have players sold out from under me, and get as deep into the Champions League as possible, because Champions League equals money. Hello and welcome to Club 5, part 13 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we have a Champions League game away against Ajax, and we're also going to be playing against Napoli in Serie A. Since you were last with me, we've continued a nice little unbeaten run. After the embarrassment against Bayern Munich at the start of the season, we haven't lost again since. We came close against Leipzig. It seems German clubs might be a problem for us this season, only picking up a 3-3 draw away against Leipzig. But other than that, we have been dominant in the league, apart again from, when we play against the good teams, less so. We drew away against Inter Milan, but this is what the Champions League looks like. 2 games played. We're not worrying too much about this just yet. Ajax seem to have had a difficult start, so if we can pick up a win over Ajax, that should see us move up towards the top 8, where we definitely want to be finishing, to skip that extra round. And as far as Serie A goes, we're unbeaten. We could do... When was the last time I did it? This is a bit early. It's 8 games in, but when was the last time I did an invincible season on YouTube? It's been a while. Maybe this could be the season. And William Bilger, by the way, is a superstar. He really is a superstar. He's got 8 goal contributions from 8 games so far, largely playing out wide. This kid is the future of Juventus, and I'm very excited. He got 3rd place, I think, in the under-21 Ballon d'Or. He's a previous winner of the next-gen European Golden Boy. It doesn't mention on there that he finished 3rd in the under-21 version of the Ballon d'Or, but he definitely did. I know this because the Ballon d'Or was very much a Juventus clean sweep. Vlahovic winning the Ballon d'Or for the first time in his career. I'm trying to actually find a way to click on it. There we go. There's your confirmation that Vlahovic won the Ballon d'Or. But in addition to that, we also had, look at that, for best goalkeeper, Dennis Simon and Zelmar Blanco, 1 and 2. In the top goalkeeper, Simon winning it for the 2nd year in a row. That's not actually what I was looking for. There must be another key. World Golden Glove. There it is. Marcus Secco winning the World Golden Glove. We can sign goalkeepers in this save, apparently. Simon, Blanco, Secco, the 3 best goalkeepers in the world, all discovered by this guy. But then we had Vlahovic winning the Ballon d'Or, which I can't take much credit for. And then I think this is where we'll see there you go, under 21. It was 2nd place Bilger got in the world under 21s, and the guy who won it was 21. He's an 18-year-old finishing in 2nd place in that. I suspect he's going to be winning that for the next several years. Look at the amount of stubble that he's got. That's how you know he's really, really good. We're not going to worry about these ones that my players didn't win. There's your World Team of the Year, which I don't think has happened yet. I didn't know you could come on here and find next gen. You only get the top 3. But that's interesting. I thought once the next gen was out, it was out and you were done. But yeah, there's your confirmation that Bilger, of course, winning next gen last year, which I don't know if that's how we found him. It may well be how we found him from scouting the next gen, but either way, we've got the current and the future of world superstar strikers are within Juventus, which is very, very exciting. Less exciting. Obviously, the money is still a complete disaster, but we're not going to talk about the money. It's not my job. I'm the football manager. The game is called Football Manager, not Finance Manager. I have a different app on my phone where I manage my finances. It's really boring. You think this one is just looking at spreadsheets? I challenge you to go and have a look at QuickBooks. Goodness me, there's a reason I'm not a QuickBooks YouTuber. I am here for the football, not the money. I think that's important and needed to be said. So, the team that's heading to Ajax, we've got Secco in goal, a back four of Mansoret, Valente, Sotalo and Agostini, Boatini at the base of the midfield, Veloso, Dos Santos and Baturina in ahead of him, Lazrak on the left, Bilger on the right, Vlahovic up front. We have picked up an injury to Szoboszlai, which is going to keep him out for the next few months. It's adorable. He's an old man and he's got a hip injury. He's fallen and hurted his hip. So Szoboszlai won't be playing again until Christmas because of his poorly hip. And realistically, at his grand old age, I think he's 33 years old now. So proper old. I think a hip injury at 33 years old, you're basically finished. He's going to be walking with a limp from now on because, you know, it's just part of getting old. Old people, eh? I can't imagine what it would be like to get as old as that one day. But I hope I get there. We do the AI stuff that we do on the thumbnails in the videos as well, right? To make me look young. Yeah? Good. Right, Sotalo plays it forward to Boatini, who, by the way, Boatini has just taken that spot at the base of the midfield at the start of the season, and he's just made it his own. He's kept that now. He's not letting Agostini back in there. He's not letting Locatelli in. So Veloso dos Santos, now he's fit again, firmly installed as a central midfielder ahead of him, and Boatini is just protecting the defence. That's what he does. He just charges around protecting the defence. It's a little bit more defensively solid than what we had previously, and I think that probably helps. We've got a lot of creativity and fancy attacking players ahead of him, so he can just concentrate on defending and protecting the defenders that are behind him. I've just noticed our former player Anel is in the team for Ajax as well. He left us on a free transfer in the summer, has turned up at Ajax, and hopefully will remember what side his bread is buttered and give us a little bit of a goal. I mean, he's let Vlahovic just slide past him with no problems at all there. Although I say no problems, he actually got back and got the covering tackle in, which is, I mean, it's more than he ever did for us. He was old and past it for us. We never gave him much of an opportunity. That and the fact I didn't want to keep having to say his name in videos and get myself demonetized. He has headed the ball clear there, though, but it comes back to Baturina, who charges into the area, has the shot, but it ends up going into the side netting. We are still 0-0, 15 minutes in. Like I say, Ajax have had a very poor start to life in the Champions League this year. So I think if we're going to have any realistic chance of winning it, these are definitely the kind of matches that we need to be winning. I can just about forgive going to Leipzig and struggling a little bit away from home. But I think Ajax have been so poor to start off the tournament this year. We've got to beat them, or else we're probably just a mid-table also-ran team as well that don't stand much of a chance. I would like it on record, and I think I said this yesterday, that obviously we did start slowly in the Europa League last year, though, and ended up winning it. So if we end up starting slowly again, it's not the end of the world, but we'd like points on the board, not least because every Champions League win is worth like £3 million, which, when you're in the amount of debt we are, teetering on the brink, getting a little £3 million cash injection every couple of weeks is quite handy. It covers the wage bill for less than a week. Top level football's bonkers, isn't it? 0-0 still. I'm tempted to check in on some of the other matches, but we're so early on, it's fairly meaningless at this stage. Lazrak has picked up an injury though, so and Agostini. So two of our boys have picked up injuries, and Ajax, rather than giving me a chance to check in on them, have decided to take the throw. Well, I hope we punish them by going and grabbing a goal here. Let's win the ball back. Valente tries to do exactly that. Now Mansouri, Lazrak, who is injured, and they've clattered him again there, but Baturina has the ball's bobbled clear to him and he's poked it towards goal, and unfortunately didn't get any proper contact on it. And this is not ideal. Agostini looks like he's properly hurt. So Maggioni's going to come on for him. We're going to bring on Orbeck for Lazrak on the left-hand side. And that's two players that have just been kicked out of the match by a thuggish Ajax team. Not impressed with that at all. Can we have a goal, please? This is becoming less of a fun day out and more of an ordeal now. We'll have a look. What else have we got that we can do to try and turn this game around? Who have we got on the bench that could come on and win us the football match? Graticos is the obvious one, I guess, in that category. Graticos and Ruiz are probably the two that you'd want to throw on in this kind of situation. I think Graticos is the one we go with first of all. Try and get him a little bit more involved in the attack, and Ruiz is there to come on if needed. I talked too positively about Bilger. He's not turned up today. I told you Vlahovic won the Ballon d'Or, so he's not turned up today. It's all going wrong. Right, Bilger is shattered, so we'll bring Ruiz on for him. Baturina and Boatini both tired as well, so I think we're going to bring on Gervasio in midfield as a final throw of getting a big boy in there to try and grab us a goal. Can we have a goal, please? I mean, Ajax have not really tried to do anything attacking-wise. They've just kicked us off the pitch. And now they're going to go and grab a winner, aren't they? And it's going to make me very sad. Boatini, who is now shattered. He's done a great job of protecting the defence so far, but he's tired now and couldn't keep up with the guy that he was supposed to be chasing. They are in and they have scored. And, oh, it's so infuriating that you can see it coming. We are not having a nice Champions League campaign so far. We struggled against Leipzig. We're now looking like we're going to lose against a pretty poor Ajax team who'd had a really bad start to the competition and haven't shown anything today. Apart from that one goal, that's pretty much all they've done. And we've lost. And that's annoying. That's really annoying. Right, we've got a Serie A game to play off camera, and then we'll be back for the Inter game. Hopefully with these two back fully fit again. Yeah, they're both minor injuries. So maybe you didn't need to faff about and insist on coming off the pitch, you pair of cowards. Goodness me, we need a winning mentality. Well, that's come from nowhere. Antonio Tornatore has successfully completed his takeover of Juventus FC, replacing former chairperson Andrea Agnelli. According to Eurosport, the former director is said to be relishing the prospect of taking the club forward. Tornatore has already indicated that his first priority will be to get the club back on a sound financial footing. Hopefully he's invested some money. Let's have a little look. I want to thank you for your patience during what has undoubtedly been a stressful time. There are no plans to provide the club with any investment at this stage. What on earth was the point then? He's changed a load of directors over. Our expectations and all that stuff don't appear to have changed. Which is fine, I guess. They want me to focus on signing young players. I think that's new, actually. There's no way to negotiate this, by the way. I just have to accept it. Even though I'm the manager. How have I not grown the club's reputation while I've been here? We've won everything we've played in. Goodness me. And we've severed links with clubs I don't care about. That's fine. We'll just check on the finances, because if it's... I mean, what was the point? Oh, okay. So they say they're not going to invest any money. I maybe need to go and grovel, because they've invested £300 million. Yeah, we need to go and do some groveling. So the debt... Oh, in fact, they haven't invested. They've taken out a loan, because the net debt on here has actually increased. So they've taken out a £298 million loan, which is repayable at £1.1 million a month over the next 25 years. So they really haven't invested any money. They've just come in, saddled the club with a big loan, which I guess in the short term does sort out the bank balance. I mean, pay the loan off there, maybe. If these are genuine numbers, I'm a little bit confused about how they're genuine numbers. I don't know where they think that extra money each year is coming from. But future transfer budgets are looking pretty. Maybe I'll stay here forever. So presumably that now means, yeah, finances are considered okay. We're no longer in any kind of financial trouble. So we can now spend that £32 million we've got, yeah? I mean, I'm not waiting for approval. I'm going to. One other thing that is a little bit weird, I know I said this isn't a QuickBooks series, but I have been nosing through the finances in a little bit more detail and noticed that we're no longer failing FFP. So I went onto the FFP tab, and according to FFP, we've now made a profit of £207 million in the last 3 years, whereas previously it was a loss of like 50 million, which is why we're failing FFP. So I think for the purposes of FFP, Football Manager considers taking out a loan as income, which, again, not a financial expert, but I don't think that £297 million loan is considered income as far as FFP is concerned. But we have absolutely no worries for the next 3 years. There's a 3-year count starting from today where there's a bonus £300 million of income on FFP for us. So in actual fact, if I wanted to go completely nuts, we could just go and spend £200 million on players on the Never Never in January, and it wouldn't have any adverse impact on FFP. Long term, it has an impact on the club, but by their own projections, they can afford it. They really need to fix the way finances work in Football Manager. I'll say again, I'm not looking for QuickBooks Simulator. I don't want to be discussing different accounting methods with the board. I would like the numbers to add up because I struggle enough with numbers as it is. We've all experienced Kev maths. These numbers are bonkers and they make no sense. I am glad the board are happy with the exceptional effort I have put into repairing the club's financial damage. You're welcome, board. So in further demonstration of just how good a football manager I am, as well as single-handedly fixing the finances at this football club, we won 6-0 in the league as well. So now we take that form, hopefully, into this game against Napoli and forget everything that happened in the Netherlands, which is a good policy anyway. Secco in goal, a back four of Mansoret, Valente, Sotalo and Agostini. Boatini at the base of the midfield. Veloso dos Santos and Gratakos ahead of him. Fabrice on the left, Lazrak on the right, Vlahovic up top. Let's get out there and actually do well in an away game, which these big away games, we are struggling a little bit at the moment. You saw it against Leipzig, Bayern Munich, Ajax, Inter. It seems to be the big away games that we seem to have a little bit of a problem with. So fingers crossed, this is a big away game against Napoli. Maybe we could pick up a win. That would be nice. Just to break that run of strange away game form. But we have given the ball away on the edge of the area, edge of their area, to be honest. And Agostini has absolutely clattered the Napoli attacker to just cut the attack off. It did the job. He absolutely clattered him and has got away with it. It's not even a yellow card. Good work from Agostini. It's good to have a couple of thugs knocking around in the shape of Agostini and, of course, Boatini as well. Agostini then on the right-hand side, proving he's not just a thug, plays it across to Boatini, who was, of course, already on a yellow card. And Sotalo just showing that he's a big, strong boy as well. And Vlahovic is in. It was a lovely pass from Lazrak, and it's an 11th goal of the season already for Vlahovic, who I had a little bit of a worry. When he started the season with that injury and had a couple of iffy games, I was a little bit worried that we might have just had that one perfect season from Vlahovic, but he is back. Although he did struggle against Ajax a little bit, but he really does like to stat pad against the Serie A teams. I mean, we've been very good in Serie A this year, as you can see by our goal difference being so far ahead of everybody else. Is Napoli actually second in the table? So this is the top of the table clash. I think they were third when I planned for them to be the other team in this episode, but it's turned into a lovely little top of the table clash. Could have been the game that I actually went to see Juventus play, but of course, as mentioned, not able to get tickets for the Napoli game. So I am now going to see Juventus versus Sporting, which, as this video comes out, is it next week or the week after? I'm not sure. I'm in Switzerland right now, not as I'm recording, but as you're watching, ready to do a matchday vlog from Servette, my previous Twitch team. Doing these matchday vlogs this year, goodness me. I don't know if I'm coming or going. Right, Napoli have got a penalty, and I mean, it looked like it was straight at Secco. It might have just been the camera angle because it looks like, based on where it's positioned, it went top corner, but I thought it went straight at it. We'll have a look at it on the replay here. So I think it comes straight down. I mean, yeah, that's kind of straight at him. You'd expect him to do a little bit better with that. It's 1-1, and we now need to pick ourselves up and go up there and do it all again. Mansoret on the left-hand side plays it into Veloso dos Santos, who's done a weird little looping crossover and found Fabrice, who's on the right-hand side temporarily for some reason, despite him being our left winger. And now Sotalo across to Valente, who's had a little bit of an injury himself, but has now recovered and is back in the team. And this is definitely my first choice back four when they're all fit. This is I mean, we're pretty close to first choice team. I mean, there'll be a couple of players who'd argue they should be in there, like Bilger and Zabozlai maybe, Baturina maybe. But on the whole, there's a couple of places that are still a little bit rotatable. But this back four, Boatini and Veloso dos Santos, Vlahovic, of course, up front, they're all pretty much settled in this team now when everybody is fit. I think I saw someone had picked up a knock. Yeah, it's Lazrak. So Bilger can come on at half time and we get to have another little look at him. He was excellent in the previous game on this right-hand side. Grabbed himself a goal, ended up playing the last half an hour or so up front as well after Vlahovic went off. But Bilger continues to look very, very impressive. So hopefully we get to see some of that again in this second half. I'm going to drop a little bit of encouragement because like I say, these away games just aren't really going to plan at the moment against the bigger teams, although we have been comfortably the better team. We've got almost double their XG, despite the fact they had a penalty, which gives you almost 1 XG on its own. Right, Leone's going to come on for Mansoray and Maggioni for Agostini, just to freshen things up at fullback. And I'm looking at the bench and wondering who else we've got who could come on and maybe be a match winner for us. We've got 2 more subs left to do. And, oh, we've got a lot of tired players, actually. Right, Fabris is going to come off and Orbeck can come on for him. That's an easy one. In fact, we're not going to do that. I say it's an easy one. We're going to put Bilger over there and bring Ruiz on. I think that's probably a more positive substitution. And then I always worry about Boatini when he's on a yellow card and tired. But I kind of want to get Bacciarina on further forward. So I think we're going to do that and just risk Boatini. Watch him get a red card now. He hasn't actually been sent off for us this season so far, touch wood, despite playing as a ball-winning midfielder, which is always my fear about playing him in that role, which is why we've spent so much time playing him as a box-to-box midfielder to try and minimise his opportunities to get red cards. But it looks like he's survived today, but once again, we've dropped points away from home. It's not the end of the world. Napoli are second in the league. We've gone there and not lost, so we remain unbeaten. So it isn't the end of the world. It's just becoming a thing where we struggle a little bit in these big away games, which hopefully doesn't continue to be a thing. We shall see. We're going to play Bayern Munich again in the next episode, so that's going to be fun. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.